All right, let me type in good morning on Instagram, and then I'll type in my good morning on Facebook. Okay, let's see. All right, and I'm on Instagram, just post it. Now let me come back to Facebook and do good morning. All right. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, I am on. So as you come on, type in good morning. My computer was acting crazy right before I came on. The screen went black. I was like, okay, good morning, Carolyn. Good to see you. But the screen went black right before I came on because I was sitting here listening to Tasha Cobbs and just praising and feeling really good. And all of a sudden the screen went black. But I kept on singing Tasha Cobbs anyway. I was having a moment. Janice is on. Angela's on. Good morning, ladies. Good to see you. Stephanie Davis is on. Good morning, Stephanie. So I am also hanging out on Instagram and here on Facebook. Like I was saying, I was sitting here having a moment. Robin, good morning. Good to see you. I was having a moment. I was sitting here listening to Tasha Cobbs. One of my favorite songs is You Know My Name. And there's something about that song. When I hear that song, I can go immediately into praising and worshiping. So I was sitting here listening to Tasha Cobbs, You Know My Name, and all of a sudden my screen went black on my computer here on Facebook. But that's okay. I just kept singing anyway. And eventually the screen, I was able to revise or bring the screen back up. But yeah, I was having a good time just sitting here, just praising and feeling good. Stephanie Nichols is on, Ubong is on, Cheryl Hudson is on. Thank you, ladies, for getting up and joining me. It's good morning this morning. I was looking to see when I first started coming on live in this group. So we have an anniversary coming up. It was the first time I went live was November 12th, 2017. So it'll be 5 years next month. So I am excited. We'll have to talk about how we're going to celebrate 5 years, right? And what's interesting is that I pulled up my very first video. I'm going to post it sometime this week. The very first video that I did live here in this group, You Have the Power, on Facebook was November 12th, 2017. First, when I looked at the video, I'm like, who is that young chick? That was 5 years ago. So I thought that was a little funny, but I'm going to share it. And just, I think I was only on for 10 minutes. And I was just looking at it and saying, wow, you've come a very long way, kid. But I think we should do something special to celebrate. I'm not sure what that is. So if you have any ideas, let me know. Elizabeth is on Instagram. And again, we have the ladies hanging out here on Facebook. And can you believe it's been 5 years? And some of you have been with me for 5 years too. So I appreciate you not only getting up every day, but for those of you who've been with me for 5 years, God bless you for hanging in there with me. You know, I appreciate all of you. So, and like I said, I was sitting here listening to Tasha Cobbs, You Know My Name, and just thinking about how far I've come. And looking at that very first video, I got a little emotional. And I'll tell you why. Because sometimes we pray and we ask God for things. You know, we ask to be guided, we ask for wisdom, and sometimes we're so busy not even being aware that the things that we've been praying for, we already have. We already have. So I was having one of those moments of gratitude and just thinking about that day when I couldn't even say that my purpose is that I'm the voice that inspires others to embrace life. I couldn't even say it because of fear, of thinking I wasn't good enough, of thinking who's going to listen to me. And here it is, next month, it will be 5 years since I've been in the Facebook group. You Have the Power. November 12th will be 5 years since I've been doing this, coming on um, live on Sunday mornings. So I'm grateful. And yeah, like I said, sometimes God's answering our prayers and we're so busy we're not even aware. Which leads me into what I'm going to spend a few minutes talking about this morning. So, first and foremost, thank you so much for getting up and joining me. I truly appreciate you. And as you come on, ladies, just say good morning, type it in so that I'll know that you're here with me so that I can give you a shout out. But here we go. I'm going to start out. Kara is on. She said, that's amazing. I'm going to start out reading from Just Leap, but I'm only going to read just a little bit of the message. Dr. Cornelius is on. Thank you so much. She's on Facebook for joining us. So if you have the book, Just Leap, page 12, be aware. But I'm only going to just read a couple of paragraphs. Here we go. How many times has a particular person you know knocked at your door and you haven't opened it? You tiptoed to the door, looked through the peephole, and decided you didn't want to be bothered, so you didn't open the door. Or you let them in, but regretted it immediately. It seemed like they stayed forever. There may be various reasons why you didn't let this person in. Maybe it's because they're negative, loud, rude, tell lies, and cause you to have anxiety. I'm sure we all know somebody like that, right? They constantly remind you that you can't be successful, you're not good enough, and they put you down and cause you to doubt yourself. You feel like they're on a mission, deliberately trying to take away your confidence so that you have low self-esteem and live a life of status quo. So that's the first two paragraphs in B of the message, Be Aware. Just Leap, I read from page 12. And in the book, it goes on to talk about the saboteur. So today I want to spend just a few minutes talking about who are you letting into your space. Now think about this. Someone knocked on my door the other day. Knock, knock, right? So in my mind, I'm thinking, who's there? And I go and I peep through the peephole. Now, once I realized who was at the door, I opened the door. But I had to make sure that who I was letting in wasn't dangerous. And that's why I peeped through the peephole. So today I want to spend a few minutes talking about knock, knock. Who's there? Who are you letting into your space? And when I say space, I mean your home and your heart. Who are you letting into your space? Your home and your heart. So think about your home, right? You're intentional about building the type of atmosphere you want in your home. We make it just as we like it because it's our home, it's our castle, it's our place where we feel safe and protected. And it's filled with love. It's filled with love, warmth, and peace. Because once you close the door, you can keep all that noise out. You determine who you let into your home. Because we enjoy our homes, right? So we're very careful about what and who we let into our homes. And the feeling of our home is entirely different than any other place. We have created a strong bond with our homes. And when we're away from home, how many times you've been away from home? You're like, ooh, I can't wait to get home and pull them clothes off so I can relax because you feel protected. It's warm. You have created the atmosphere in your home exactly the way you want it. So just as it takes intentional care and effort to build a welcoming home and peaceful atmosphere in your home, we must be just as intentional about building peace and love within our hearts and in our lives. So think about it. Knock, knock. Who's there? You're intentional about who you let into your home. Be intentional about who you let into your heart. Be intentional about who you let into your space. which is your heart and in your home. And you wouldn't let anyone dangerous into your home, right? That's why we peek through the peephole. That's why we don't open that door until we know who we're letting in. But do we take that same approach about our hearts and in every aspect of our lives? Do we take that same approach? Because we wouldn't let anyone into our home that knowingly that we know will harm us or our family. So think about if you take that same approach to every aspect of your life. And we know there are people that want to get into our homes and our hearts because they want to bring chaos, especially if you're on this journey of just embracing your authentic self, and if you're on this journey of surrounding yourself with peace and love. And if you are, you're more conscious of those people who want to bring chaos in your life. They're filled with pride, ego, jealousy, sickness, hatred. And some of them, they have forced themselves in. They're in your lives, and all of a sudden, you're feeling different. And it's because you let someone into your life that's not in your corner. And you realize when you're around them, you feel differently. You're tense. You're on guard. You don't have that same peace of love and joy. You don't feel it. Because they forced themselves in. So be aware, knock, knock. Who's there? Who are you letting into your space? Because there are people that want what you have. They want to destroy you. They compare their lives to yours. And every opportunity they get, they jab you with something negative. Do you know people like that? But each time they come to the door, you let them in. You let them in. Think about it. And before you know it, they're in your heart. Not only are they in your homes, they're in your heart. You're starting to doubt yourself, second guess yourself. You're starting to say, is it me? Starting to think about, well, maybe it's me that's something's wrong with. You start to question yourself. So think about it. Who are you letting into your home and in your hearts? But on the other hand, there are positive people who believe in you and they support you. So when you are with them, it's an entirely different type of experience. And you cannot help but be changed and encouraged by this type of experience because they're positive, they're in their corner, your corner, they're rooting for you, they're your cheerleaders. And you look at your time together as a blessing, and it supports your experience of peace. So knock, knock, who are you letting into your home, your space, and in your heart? So think about it. When you're letting people into your home that are not supportive, right? Think about the harm that you're doing to yourself. Think about when they're there, how the atmosphere in your home changes. Now, I'm not saying don't let them in. I'm just saying be aware. And maybe those people you want to limit your time with. So think about who are you allowing into your space and focus on love and peace and avoid negative distractions. Just like if you go to your door and if there's danger on the other side, you wouldn't let it in. You wouldn't let that person in. Use that same approach with your heart. If you know this person does not have good intentions for you, think about, knock, knock, who's there? And if you look and if you see that they don't have good intentions, then question, why are you letting them into your heart? And focus on cultivating a positive mindset of love and peace. living with the sense of love and peace allows us to see love and peace in every area of our lives and guard our hearts against the tricks, distractions, and schemes of people that may not be in our corner. And focusing on feeling your love and your home with peace and love. And that means if you holding any grudges against anyone, let it go. Knock, knock, who's there? What are you letting into your home and your heart, your space? And love yourself, right? Deliberately, the same way you create that certain atmosphere in your home where you feel comfortable and protected and love yourself. Some of us are looking for love outside of ourselves, but love begins at home. And when you love yourself and you feel good about who and what and where you are, then you will protect it. But if you're seeking it through someone else, right? Then you're putting your space, which is your home and your heart, at risk. It's just something to think about. Because when you love yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, and you're being your authentic self, that's what you're inviting into your space. So knock, knock, who's there? Who are you letting? What are you letting into your space? So cultivate a peaceful existence and living a life of peace and serenity will draw that same type of energy to you. And when your days are free from drama and emotional chaos, you can experience peace and love in your home and in your heart, in your space. So when we live with gratitude and grace, we allow our hearts to be filled with love, leaving no room for anything else. So remember, next time, and I haven't talked about intuition in a long time, but your intuition will tell you, you know this, right? When danger alerts, or when something or someone doesn't feel right, pay attention to it and think about knock, knock, who's there? Are you allowing danger, negative energy, negative people, chaos into your home and in your heart? And you know, right? The one place we want to feel safe is in our homes. And you know, you wouldn't intentionally let danger into your home. But sometimes you don't think of it that way. You know, that person who comes in, who's always negative, who always criticizes you, right? And you let them in and you sit there and you regret it the entire time. Or someone that you're letting into your heart. Are they creating chaos? Are you looking for love outside of yourself? Because love begins at home. Think about it. Knock, knock. Who's there? Listen to your intuition. Is danger alerting? Is danger luring on the other side? And if so, will you let it in? May it be your home or to your heart. Think about, is it going to upset the atmosphere that you have deliberately built in your home and in your heart? And if so, think about it. Do you want to let them in? So you have the power this morning. Just be mindful of who and what you're letting into your space, which is your home and your heart. Any comments? What do you think, ladies? I had to think about that. And it was so powerful, especially when I went to look through the peepholes to see who was knocking at my door. Because, think about it. If it's danger, you're not going to let it in. Let that person in. If it's unfamiliar, you may not let that person in. I don't know. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't go beyond your comfort zone. So I'm not saying that. But you have the power this morning, and just think about it, and you can have fun with it. Knock, knock. Who's there? Right? Just have fun with it. Is this person going to create chaos? Upset my happy home, my comfortable, peaceful home? Yeah. Does this person have good intentions? Should I let this person in my heart? Is there danger lurking? Knock, knock, who's there? So that is You Have the Power this morning. You ladies are quiet. I don't see any comments, but I appreciate you. So listen, I have a question. As I stated when I first started, I've been coming into the You Have the Power group, doing live coffee talks or You Have the Power messages on Sunday mornings. It'll be 5 years next month. November 12th, 2017 was the first time I came on. So what should we do to celebrate? I have to come up with something. If you have any suggestions, I am open for suggestions. What should we do to celebrate? 5 years. I'm going to post the original video. I went back in the group and I found it this morning, so I'm going to post it this week and just ask for your opinion. What should we do to celebrate? 5 years into, again, say thank you to all of you ladies for getting up and joining me. For those of you who've been with me for 5 years, I appreciate you. So that's it. Just a couple of things though. Just remember to keep my books in mind as you're starting your holiday shopping. And also, if you're interested in coaching, there's a link to my calendar. You can go in and book a complimentary coaching session and just know that it's confidential. Or you may decide you want to gift someone a coaching package, but you can contact me and we can talk about it. And I think that is it. And of course, if you're having any type of gatherings, please invite me out. I'd love to come out and have a conversation with you and your girls, just about life, whatever it is you want to talk about. But I'd love to be. Robin said, I had a chocolate champagne party for my fifth. Oh, that's what you had for yours. Okay. So I'm going to have to come up with something for 5 years. But ladies, keep me in mind. I'd love to come out and hang out with you, spend time with you and your friends. Just, yeah. So kind of keep me in mind, keep my books in mind. And that is it for You Have the Power this morning. Thank you so much for getting up and joining me. Again, I'm going to post and ask for your ideas for what we should do to celebrate the 5th anniversary of You Have the Power. Stay safe. Remember, knock, knock, who's there? Be aware of what and who you are letting into your space. See you back here next Sunday. Whatever you're doing today, make it a great day. Love and blessings to you and your family. Take care. Bye.